All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Tom Lelly. I'm your ultimate jet guide. And on this channel, we pull back the curtain on private aviation to help you get into aviation sales with little to no experience necessary to get started. And today, we're pulling back the curtain on building that bridge of trust to completely change how you see sales in 2026. So I'm very excited about this. What's up, BizJet? Hey, hella favorite. That's funny. We're live on Instagram. We're live on YouTube. We're live on LinkedIn as well. So super excited to see you guys here. Don't forget to click, comment, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and we'll check it out. So let's get right into it. Today, the concept that we're going to be focusing on, that if you understand this concept, it will completely change how you see 2026. Today, we're going to talk about building a bridge of trust that is strong enough for someone to walk across. And what's funny is that this was actually first brought to me in the context of ministry. I was talking with a friend of mine, shout out to Eric, and he said, Tom, when it comes to ministering to teenagers, we need to build a bridge of trust that's strong enough for them to walk across, to basically do what we need them to do. So if a student is at point A, right? You know, if this is the student and we want to get them to Jesus, well, we need to build a bridge of trust to walk them, for them to walk across. And we build that in all different ways. We build that by showing up. We build that by showing them that we care, showing them that we can be trusted. Okay. And all these little bricks go from someone brand new walking across to Jesus. The same thing works for private aviation and jets. So if the whole point is to get them to fly, this is my little airplane here. Woo. Okay. So if we want to get them from point A to point B, which is a jet, we got to build these bridges of trust. So let's talk about for a second, what is it exactly? What's the purpose of the bridge? The bridge is to get from point A to point B. Okay. It not just gets you there, but it shows you how. It shows you the path, right? It supports you as you're going. It's not teleporting them. Okay, it supports the journey. And so if we're going to talk about building a bridge, how do we do that? And I kind of alluded to with the youth ministry thing. We show up. We show that we can be trusted. We build trust. Okay? And that within that, you have ideas of authority. Okay, like a resource. Okay. And I just want to be clear, I guess before we even get into it, why this is important is because so many people, and this is whether you're trying to get a job in aviation, this is whether you're trying to sell parts, sell jets, sell charters, so many people in the aviation world, they just expect people to walk across the bridge. And one of the things is to get point A to point B, but it also protects you, a bridge, right? Because what if there's sharks down there? And nobody want to get eaten by sharks. It makes something possible that wouldn't be possible without the bridge, right? Okay, so many people in aviation, especially aspiring jet brokers, I get these text messages. Tom, they won't sign a listing agreement. The owner of the jet won't sign a listing agreement. Why should they? You're asking them to walk across this bridge of trust me, sign the listing agreement, sign here. Why should they? Oh, well, I told them I would give them great service. So did every other broker. Oh, I told them I worked 24 hours. So did every other broker. Oh, I told them okay. The reason why they're not doing what you want them to do is because you haven't built a bridge of trust strong enough to support them walking across it. And this is the game changer. Okay. And so the way that we build this bridge, and what we need to understand about this bridge, is through reasons to cross. So for example, okay, what does a client at point A, what do they believe? What do they trust? What is their gut telling them? Okay, and I just did this the other day with a broker. You know, a couple things that they're probably thinking. Well, actually, sometimes it's easier to do it from the other side. Point B. What do they need to believe and trust in order to pick you? If they're going to choose you to be their broker, okay, number one, they need to believe they should use a broker. Some people don't think they should use a broker. If they're going to hire you as a broker, you better believe that they need to believe they should use a broker. So you have to build a bridge of trust between don't need a broker. Okay. You got to build this bridge of trust. Between they need a broker, between they don't need a broker, and they need a broker. Use a broker. Okay. What else? What else do they need to? Timing. It's time to sell. Right now, they believe it's not time to sell. Okay. You need to build that bridge that says it's time to sell. They need to see, maybe they need to believe the process is worth it before they get here. Process is a pain in the ass. Hey, Arfa. It's good to see you, man. Hopefully you can hear what's going on, and we'll add you to the stage in a little bit if you want to ask some questions later on. But welcome. It's good to have you here in the private chat. That if you want to be in the private chat, by the way, and join us and ask questions, because I'm only going to go about 10 minutes and then we're going to open it up for questions. But if you want to be in the chat, that's through our Aviation Sales, our AvSales Academy community. You go to community.avsalesacademy.com and you can sign up for free. And we do these trainings twice a week. I only go live publicly in LinkedIn and YouTube and Instagram once a week, but I do it twice a week in the community. So, and if you want to have access to asking questions with me directly, that's how you do that. So welcome, our firm. It's good to see you, man. Okay, but we're talking about now we got to build a bridge. So in order for someone to sign you up as a broker and get you a listing, they need to believe that the process is worth it. Because right now what they believe is that the process is a pain in the ass. It's not worth the hassle to sell. Okay. So what you probably notice, hopefully, if you've been following me for a little while, these come down to core beliefs. So you as an aviation sales professional, whether you're a broker, whether you're an owner, whether you sell parts, customer service, you need to be sold on the fact that you need to use a broker. Okay. Like this is the time. And if you're going to sell your plane, you need to use a broker. And here's why, boom, expertise, network, skills, avoiding making costly mistakes. Like you need to be sold on the fact they need to use a broker because you're going to use that belief to build the bridge. Okay. You need to be sold out on it's time to sell, because if it's not time to sell, why are you calling them? Okay. Because you want them to build. So you have to build a bridge. You have to build a logical argument for like why it's time to sell. And you need to believe that, because if you don't believe it, you're not going to pick up the phone. And if you're not picking up the phone, it's probably because you don't believe this, right? Also, the process is worth it. Like you need to explain to them, like, yes, I know selling your jet is kind of a thing, but it's worth it. It's money in your pocket, or it's less of a headache because you've been dealing with this thing for the last year. You're not flying it, and it's just eating away at your savings because you're not using it. It's not worth it anymore. So these are just a few. And when we're working with people, we kind of go through how to make this make a little bit more sense. But do you see that what we're trying to do here? Number one is we need to understand where our prospects are before we call them, before we talk to them. Like, what are their core beliefs? And then we build a bridge of trust through argument, like logic, Here's why this makes sense. Through emotion. Okay. There's two reasons why people do something. It's either to solve a problem or they fall in love with the solution. Okay. So we need to build bridges that hit those 2 points. And I'll say that again. There's two reasons people do something or they take action. Okay. And that's one, to solve a problem. And two, they fall in love with the result. Okay. So part of the process of building a bridge of trust, you got to point out the problems. It's not time to sell. They don't have any problems that they know of. But can you bring something up that shows them how to solve that problem? Good to see you guys. What's up, Michael? Oh, he was here for a second here. What's up, MPM? Good to see you, man. Like I said to Irfan, we'll get you, hopefully you can still hear what's going on. And then in about 5 minutes, I'm going to open it up for you guys to come on to the live stream and answer and ask some questions. Or actually, I'll probably shut down the live stream. That way we can just have a conversation together. But yeah, man, that'll be great for everybody in the studio. So, okay. So here we are. The first step is to figure out where are our prospects at right now. So take 10, 15, 30 minutes before 2026 and figure out, what do your prospects believe? So maybe they don't believe they need a broker. Maybe they say it's not time to sell. Maybe they say the process is a pain in the butt. Okay, let's do this for something else. Let's do, I don't know, let's do parts sales. Okay, what do they believe right now? They don't need a part. Or maybe it's they have a vendor they like. And I'm not saying that if you figure this out and then you try to build a bridge that it's an automatic thing. Like they might have a vendor they like, and then that just means that they're not a good lead for you. So you don't want to spend a ton of time with that person. We're going to try to find someone that doesn't have a vendor that they like, you know. Part sales might be something along the lines of, you know, it's a hassle. Okay. So how can you build bridges of trust to support what they want you to do? So what are ways to build bridges of trust? So one thing is showing up. Okay, let's do this. How do we show up? A lot of different ways. You can show up with a phone call, email, social media, in person. And here's where things are going to break down for you, because a lot of people are like, oh, Tom, like, I don't know what to say. Hey, I'm just here to follow up. That's where we kind of go back to the beliefs again, the core beliefs, right? And we educate them as to why they need, like why you should be on their radar. Now, that doesn't mean you're pitching left and right. It just means that, hey, listen, I'm gonna be here on LinkedIn, and I'm just gonna focus on parts sales. I'm gonna talk about frequently asked questions that I get from vendors. I'm gonna talk about the most expensive parts. I'm gonna talk about how do you keep your parts as good as possible. I'm gonna talk about everything parts, so that when I'm on LinkedIn, like I show up. And then maybe my clients aren't on LinkedIn, my leads aren't on LinkedIn, but you know what? I'm going to take that content, I'm going to throw it up on YouTube, and then I'm going to take that link into YouTube and throw it into an email. So that when I'm following up with someone via email or a phone call, I have a purpose. Hey, Bob, it's Tom with ABC Parts. Hey, listen, I know you're not, looking for parts right at this moment, but I just recorded a video of some of the top mistakes that mechanics are making when it comes to sourcing parts. And I was just wondering if I send it to you a text, if it, would you be opposed to checking it out for me, see if I got it right? Okay. That's a different call than, hey, Bob, it's Tom. Just wanted to check in. How's it going? You ready to buy parts? No? Okay, cool. Later, man. And so it not only do you show up, but now you're building that bridge of authority. Oh, you just made a piece of content? You made a statement in the industry? Okay. Oh, wow. When I click this, I go to your YouTube page and I see a whole list of videos that you've done. That's a total different impression on somebody, on a potential client, versus just sending an email or just saying, hey, just following up. And so I'm gonna kind of just pause there. I think that's a lot. I would love to answer some questions for people. Or from NPM, I think it's you, Mark. I'm not sure for 100% sure, but I think that's you, Mark. But I'm going to open it up to you guys. But I hope, you guys got some value out of this. I'm going to end the stream now so people can watch the replay. But the main thing I want you to understand is for 2026, we need to be building bridges of trust that are strong enough for people to walk across. The way that we do that is we understand where they start at. Where's point A before they start walking across the bridge? Where are people at? What are we trying to get them to do? What are they afraid of? Why haven't they walked across the bridge yet? Do they even know they need to go across the bridge to get where they want to go? And so we educate, we articulate that by building the bridges of trust through, like I said, showing up, showing authority, being there for them, and not just waiting for them to come to us. And then finally, we'll have permission to invite them to come across that bridge. And they'll see that the bridge is strong. They'll see that the bridge goes where they want to go. And it's an easy, no duh, I'm coming across the bridge. Okay. So that's the concept that I think would completely change everything. If we start thinking about where do people start at before they go across this bridge towards a sale? And what do we need them to understand before we would expect them to come across? And if we can use content, use referrals, use experience to build that bridge from point A to point B, that's the game changer. Because so many people don't even think about it. They just, hey, do you want to buy? 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 It's no, you don't even know where I'm at yet first. Why would I walk across this chasm? This doesn't make any sense. And then they forget what people need to believe. We're so used to well, of course you need a broker because it just makes sense, right? Well, yeah, you've been doing it for 10 years. Of course you understand why, but they don't understand that. And no one's educating them why they need a broker. And that's the game changer, is when people start to educate them about that, then of course they're going to use you as the broker because you're the one that taught them why they needed one. So I hope that's helpful. I hope you guys go ahead and click subscribe and the like button if you're on YouTube. And again, like I said, join our community. It's free, community.avsalesacademy.com. If you're an aspiring aviation professional, or if you're a business owner, you just kind of want more training for you and for your team, it's a great resource. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream right now, and I'll talk to Ephraim and Mark. You guys can just stick around in the studio, and we'll see you in a second.